On September 11, 2001, the world watched in shock as a series of coordinated terrorist attacks unfolded in the United States. 4 commercial airplanes were hijacked, with 2 crashing into the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center, another hitting the Pentagon, and the 4th, United Airlines Flight 93, crashing in Pennsylvania after passengers attempted to regain control. The immediate aftermath was filled with grief, heroism, and a profound sense of vulnerability. However, as the dust settled, a different narrative began to emerge, one that questioned the official accounts of that fateful day. Conspiracy theories suggesting that 9/11 was an inside job gained traction, proposing that elements within the U.S. government orchestrated or allowed the attacks to justify military action and expand surveillance. This video aims to delve into these theories, exploring the evidence and arguments that fuel this controversial perspective. As we embark on this investigative journey, it's crucial to approach the topic with an open mind. Questioning official narratives is not just about skepticism. It's about seeking truth in a world where information can be manipulated. Join us as we navigate through the complexities of this pivotal moment in history. Historical context. To fully grasp the significance of the events of September 11, 2001, it's essential to understand the geopolitical landscape leading up to that day. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, the United States was deeply involved in various international conflicts, particularly in the Middle East. The Gulf War, in the early 1990s, had left a lasting impact, and tensions with Iraq remained high, especially following the imposition of sanctions. Additionally, the rise of extremist groups, including Al-Qaeda, was becoming increasingly prominent, with attacks on U.S. embassies in Kenya and Tanzania in 1998 serving as stark warnings. Public perception was shaped by a growing fear of terrorism, fueled by media coverage and government rhetoric. The Clinton administration's focus on counterterrorism highlighted the threat posed by groups like Al-Qaeda, but many felt that the U.S. was unprepared for a large-scale attack. This backdrop of anxiety and uncertainty set the stage for the events of 9/11. Understanding this historical context is crucial for examining the motivations behind various conspiracy theories. Many proponents argue that the U.S. government had reasons to manipulate public sentiment, using the attacks as a catalyst for military interventions and increased surveillance, thus raising questions about the official narrative surrounding that tragic day. The official narrative, the official account of the September 11th attacks, is primarily detailed in the 9/11 Commission report released in 2004. This comprehensive document outlines the events of that day, attributing the attacks to the terrorist group Al-Qaeda, led by Osama bin Laden. According to the report, 19 hijackers took control of 4 commercial flights, with 2 planes crashing into the World Trade Center towers, 1 hitting the Pentagon, and the 4th, United Airlines Flight 93, crashing in Pennsylvania after passengers attempted to retake control. The timeline of events on September 11th is chillingly precise. The first plane struck the North Tower at 8:46 a.m., followed by the South Tower at 9:03 a.m. The Pentagon was hit at 9:37 a.m., and the last flight went down at 10:03 a.m. The report details the immediate response from emergency services and the chaos that ensued. However, despite the thoroughness of the Commission's findings, several discrepancies and unanswered questions remain. Critics point to the lack of accountability for intelligence failures, the rapid collapse of the Twin Towers, and the absence of a clear motive for the hijackers beyond the stated grievances. These gaps have fueled ongoing debates and conspiracy theories surrounding the official narrative of 9/11. Key players and agencies. The events surrounding September 11, 2001 involved numerous individuals and agencies, each playing a critical role in the unfolding tragedy and its aftermath. The Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, and the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, were at the forefront of intelligence and counterterrorism efforts leading up to the attacks. The CIA was responsible for gathering intelligence on Al-Qaeda and its operations, while the FBI focused on domestic threats and investigations. However, both Agencies faced criticism for their failure to connect the dots that could have potentially prevented the attacks. Key figures in the U.S. government during this time included President George W. Bush and Vice President Dick Cheney. Bush was in Florida attending an educational event when the first plane struck, while Cheney was in the White House coordinating the response. Their leadership during the crisis has been scrutinized, particularly regarding the decisions made in the immediate aftermath. Additionally, potential conflicts of interest among these players have been a point of contention. For instance, Cheney's ties to Halliburton, a major defense contractor, raised eyebrows about the motivations behind subsequent military actions in the Middle East. These dynamics contribute to the ongoing debate about accountability and transparency in the official narrative of 9/11. Evidence and anomalies. The theory that the 9/11 attacks were an inside job is supported by various pieces of evidence and anomalies that challenge the official narrative. Eyewitness accounts from first responders and civilians present during the attacks often contradict the government story. Some witnesses reported hearing explosions in the Twin Towers before the plane struck, leading to speculation about controlled demolitions rather than structural failure due to impact and fire. The collapse of the World Trade Center buildings, particularly WTC-7, has also raised eyebrows. Many experts argue that the manner in which the buildings fell, particularly WTC-7, which was not directly hit by a plane, resembled a controlled demolition. The rapid, symmetrical collapse of these structures has led to questions about the structural integrity and the role of fireproofing materials, as well as the possibility of pre-planted explosives. Additionally, documented anomalies in the response to the attacks have fueled skepticism. For instance, the delayed military response and the lack of interception of the hijacked planes have been scrutinized. Critics argue that these lapses in protocol suggest a level of complicity or negligence that warrants further investigation, adding to the body of evidence supporting the inside job theory. Media influence. The media played a pivotal role in shaping public perception of the September 11th attacks, influencing the narrative that emerged in the days, months, and years following the tragedy. Initial news coverage was dominated by live broadcasts of the attacks, creating a visceral emotional response that framed the events as a direct assault on American values. This coverage often emphasized themes of heroism and patriotism, which contributed to a unified national response, but also left little room for critical analysis of the unfolding situation. As conspiracy theories began to circulate, mainstream media often dismissed them as fringe ideas, labeling those who questioned the official narrative as conspiracy theorists. This portrayal marginalized alternative viewpoints and reinforced the dominant narrative, making it difficult for the public to engage with dissenting opinions. However, the rise of documentaries and independent investigations has provided a platform for alternative perspectives. Films like Loose Change and various independent documentaries have sought to explore the complexities of the events surrounding 9/11, challenging the official story, and encouraging viewers to question the information presented by mainstream outlets. This duality in media representation has significantly impacted public discourse, highlighting the importance of critical thinking in the face of overwhelming narratives. Public reaction and skepticism. In the years following the September 11th attacks, public reaction to the inside job theory has evolved significantly, giving rise to the 9/11 truth movement. This grassroots movement emerged as a response to perceived inconsistencies in the official narrative, attracting a diverse group of individuals, including architects, engineers, and former government officials. Key figures such as David Ray Griffin and Richard Gage have become prominent voices, advocating for a thorough re-examination of the events and calling for transparency in the investigation. Skepticism surrounding the official account has grown, particularly as new evidence and analyses have surfaced. Many individuals began to question not only the details of the attacks, but also the motivations behind U.S. foreign policy in the aftermath. This skepticism has been fueled by a broader distrust of government institutions and media narratives, leading to a more critical public discourse. However, those questioning the official narrative have faced significant challenges. The 9/11 truth movement has often been marginalized, with skeptics labeled as conspiracy theorists, which can discourage open dialogue. Additionally, mainstream media coverage frequently overlooks or ridicules these perspectives, making it difficult for alternative viewpoints to gain traction in public discussions. Despite these obstacles, the movement continues to advocate for accountability and transparency. Conclusion: in this exploration of the theory that 9/11 was an inside job, we have delved into the historical context leading up to the attacks, examined the official narrative, and highlighted the evidence and anomalies that have fueled skepticism. We discussed the role of media in shaping public perception and the rise of the 9/11 truth movement, which continues to challenge the official story. The importance of critical thinking cannot be overstated. Questioning official narratives is essential in a democratic society, as it encourages transparency and accountability. We invite you to explore further, engage with related content, and consider the various perspectives surrounding this pivotal moment in history. If you found this video thought-provoking, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share it with others. Spreading awareness about these discussions is vital for fostering informed dialogue and encouraging more people to think critically about the information they consume. Your engagement helps keep the conversation alive and ensures that diverse viewpoints are heard. Thank you for joining us on this journey of inquiry and exploration.